It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the palace, y'all. Good morning to you. It's morning where I'm at. I hope it's morning where you are. If not, good afternoon, but it's morning somewhere. And we have to talk, y'all. We have to talk. We're gonna cover Wendy Williams. We're gonna cover Wendy Williams today. I dropped it yesterday. I was gonna cover it yesterday, but I went ahead and I prearranged it so that we could go live today. So y'all have had more than 24 hours to bring your own selves up to speed. But Wendy Williams. You know what, y'all? I'm sorry to say, I think Wendy could be in danger. I really think Wendy could be in danger. I believe this entire operation, in my opinion. You know what? I always jump in. Let me back up and say good morning. Let me mind my manners and speak to my moderators, to Latrice, Linda Gamble. Is Linda here? Where is Linda at? She here. Linda, you here? Is she here? I'm calling roll today. I know Linda be modding for everybody. Come on, Linda. Let me know you're here. Linda be modding for everybody. Okay. It's just Toot then. It's just Toot holding it down today. Toot, let me know if you need some backup. I got you, Queen. I got you. If you need backup, I can block. Oh, Linda's here? Okay, cool. She must be way at the top. Well, good morning, everybody. But listen, okay, I want to make sure somebody had the palace covered today. I just had to make sure we are growing and, we're bringing in different variety, a different variation of audiences. So we appreciate it here and people are kind of learning the ropes. So listen, we're going to cover Wendy Williams. I was talking to a friend a couple of weeks ago about this Wendy Williams thing. And I'm going to be honest with you. And feel free to join in with me. As we begin to think about the setup of it all, the first thing I want all of you to know is, I'm sorry, you may disagree with me. I'm going to bring you up to speed. I believe her son caused all of this. I believe because of her son's behavior and because of her son's actions and his financial abuse regarding his mother, and he took advantage of his mother in one of the most vulnerable situations that she was in. When Wendy discovered that her husband had a mistress, he was cheating on her, he was pilfering money from her and laying out this lavish lifestyle for his mistress. And not only that, he had a baby on the way, he had purchased a home. That devastated her. That devastated her to her core. And she has never been the same since. Wendy has never been the same since. I think cheating is one thing, right? And I'm not condoning it. I know this generation, we've become so used to abusing each other in various forms that we just kind of take it on the chin. I don't. I won't. You ain't abusing me. I don't give a damn. You got to go. But anywho, that's what we've become. We've normalized everything in so many facets, in so many different ways. She never bounced back, in my opinion. I believe Wendy did not bounce back after that. I think her life became complicated. I think it increased the use of substances and alcohol. Okay. Now, that's what, to me, that's what started the downward spiral. You'll be shocked at what life can do to you. And I believe Wendy took it hard because sometimes it's always the closest mofos to you. Sometimes it's the closest mofos to you that can you be like, whoa, what? So I know we've normalized cheating. Some of us have normalized cheating. Cheating is one thing, but to steal my money, to take her money and utilize it on the woman that you've been sleeping with behind my back, a woman that you fathered a child with, yeah, that'll break anybody's spirit. He did. I agree with you, Toot. Toot said he broke her heart down to pieces. down to the core. You hear me? To the point where she's never been the same. And I don't believe she will be the same. I don't believe she will be the same. I think she can be better, she'll be worse, but she'll never be the same. And as a matter of fact, if I can kind of step out there and really give you my honest opinion, I do believe Wendy requires some sort of assistance. To what degree, I'm not sure. And I do believe that Wendy is Wendy is cognizant enough to realize that she requires assistance. Smart, sharp lady. I think she realizes that there could be or may be lapses at times. If you listen to her in her interviews, she'll open up and call on, "Hey Alex, okay, can you jump in?" Or "Hey so and so, can you jump in?" So does she require attention and some type of assistance? In my opinion, yes. But I'm not sure what these white women have going on, but I think it's very dangerous. I believe, let me not say I think, I believe it's a very dangerous situation. And the reason why I say that, you isolate a human being with an alleged condition, watch them decline rapidly, fast, very rapidly. There's a lot of things that are happening in real time. Last year, if you go back and if you do your research, in 2024, Wendy Williams had a net worth of 25, was it 20 millions? I think the exact number, I think it may have been 25 million. I could be wrong, between 20 to 25 million. Fast forward to 2025, her net worth is now worth $5 million. They are blowing through her money. Somebody is blowing through her money. Somebody is robbing her blind. The reason why I say that she could be in danger, I'm talking about her health, her wealth, her welfare. Your health is your wealth. Once her money is completely gone, she will not have access to the level of care that she has now. Once her 15 million since last year. Now, all of her, let me educate you on something else. Court documents have been sealed. There is a gag order. Court documents have been locked down and sealed. We don't know what's happening with her money. But what I can tell you is I believe that somebody is, they are just going through it really, 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 really fast. Now, I was happy that Wendy was clever enough, smart enough, sharp enough to drop a note outside of that window and say, and ask for help. Help Wendy. I don't believe that she conceived that idea by herself. I think she had a little bit of help, and I'm happy she did. I think somebody somewhere helped her. I believe there are certain parties. Harvey, is it Harvey? What's Harvey's last name from TMZ? Weinstein. What's Harvey's last name? Harvey is really advocating for her. And I think he has a lot of muscle for this thing behind the scenes. He's not just interviewing her to get likes and clicks. Harvey Levin, thank you. Harvey Levin, thank you so much. Harvey is really, really getting in there and helping her. And I think he's the brain. I think he's the brains behind some of this. See, there's a lot of people, not a lot, a few of these podcasts and personalities, they've gotten a pleasure of interviewing her and they've gone off. They've gone back. They've gone back to their homes. They've gone back to their lives. And okay, I got my views. I got my clicks. I got my check. I got my $5,000 or whatever they brought in from it, my 10,000. But I really believe Harvey genuinely has her best interests at heart. I'm not saying anybody else doesn't, but he's pushing this thing. He's helping, he's pouring in, I believe, his personal investments. He's putting money behind it. He's putting some money behind it to ensure that she gets what she needs. And it's not going to be an easy road. So the Netflix the Netflix interview, Saving Wendy. Okay, Tisha Thompson says, Queen, what do you think about Don Lemon? I didn't like his interview. I didn't okay, let me say this. I didn't like the first half of his interview. I enjoyed the second half. I don't think he was the right person for her to sit with for that first half. Now, let me point out something. Have you noticed that a lot of times, most times, many times, when it comes to telling a story, these women go to men. Charlemagne did a great job because it was a collective effort of men and women. Harvey did a really good job because I think he genuinely cares for Wendy. I think he was honored that she would trust him with inside information. I think he was honored because she thought to call him. Two different sides of the coin. Let me say it again. Charlemagne did a really good, I'm not talking about who started it. I know who started it. I'm very well aware. But I'm talking about genuinely putting some muscle behind it, the follow through of it all. And Harvey is following through. There's a difference between somebody starting something and then somebody else maximizing it and following through with money, with investments, resources, attorneys, documentaries, phone calls, strategy. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all got to listen very carefully. Y'all got to listen to what I'm saying very, very carefully. Yes, the Breakfast Club did start it. Yes, Charlemagne did a really good job, but I think part of that is because he had diversity at the table and he had women there to help carry that conversation. Harvey did a good job because the heart was in the right place. And this is what I'm believing. I'm giving you my personal opinion. His heart posture is, I believe, he really has an affinity for Wendy. He really cares for Wendy. And that shows with his follow up and his behaviors after the interview. Now, my question is, what do I think about the Don Lemon interview? I think he's a great journalist. And the first half of the interview felt a bit disconnected, a bit cold, a bit I'm not saying he doesn't care. I just don't know if the connection is there that needs to be. Now, what I was saying is it's interesting how some of these women go to men. And I think most men do a good job. But Wendy, I think she needs some women in there. And she has a niece, Alex. Outside of that, she really doesn't have any women rallying around her, interviewing her. Thank you, Snatched by Diego. Thank you. At least you're being fair. He says, I agree. She needs some women, y'all. Thank you. Miss Keita says Harvey is an attorney and has a lot of connections, and he's utilizing his connections. That's what I'm saying. He's not just utilizing Wendy to build his platform. He's utilizing his connections to also assist her in getting the job done. Now, when she threw that note out, I was like, yes. Immediately I thought, there's no way that she could have thought of this on her own. So there's some people in the background helping with this, but I believe that's a risk. I was like, man, that's going to be a risk because it's going to piss this lady off right here to the right. That's her guardian. It's going to piss her off. There's no way you can remain in a relationship, in a positive relationship, in a loving relationship when someone is saying that you're not taking care of them. There's no way. So there's no way this guardian has her best interests at heart. Maybe at one point, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt, but there is no way anymore right now. It's a conflict of interest. You have to feel some kind of way. Now, I know a lot of you were happy when the news broke that Wendy scored a 10 out of 10. Immediately, I started to holler, no, no. We're going, turn around, don't drown. Like they say in floods, turn around, don't drown. I knew that was a mistake. I knew that was a mistake because this is the same crap that got her targeted in the first place. Her son took full advantage of his mother. Y'all, he took so much money from this lady. Wells Fargo says, you got to be crazy. You got to be crazy if you're going to allow someone to do that to you. And as a result of the investigation by Wells Fargo, it was determined that because her son took so much money that Wendy needed a guardian, and it just spiraled out of control. It spiraled out of control, okay? Now, I believe that whatever system this is my personal belief. I believe is a Ponzi scheme. I believe there's some dirty stuff going on. And that is what led to today's live for me to ask you, is she in danger? I believe these people are afraid of people digging around and getting to the bottom of what the hell is really going on with this judge, this woman, the guardianships of it all, with all of these millionaires that they are placing in this facility. Have you noticed that they are fighting for her to stay in this facility until they find another one? I think this facility is handpicked, and I would not be shocked if either the guardian, the judge, or somebody else within this inner circle has some type of financial investment in this center. It's no different than hospitals. What are you talking about, Queen Sheba? Sometimes when you go see your doctor, they'll say, "Oh, go to this clinic and they're going to take your blood," or go right downstairs to the second floor and they're going to do your lab work, or go here, they're going to do this. You know why? Because they're typically a partner in that facility and you have no idea. So they're actually referring you out of their office to another office that they're in partnership with. And most of you have no idea. And as a result, you go out of network and you incur what we call surprise billing, because you thought it was covered and it's not. And I think the same thing is going on with this facility. I believe that in my heart of hearts, but I also believe that when these guardianships are awarded, I believe everybody gets a cut. Because how do we go from 25,000 to 5 million? How do we go from there? Okay. Now, the son put the target on her back. That's the first thing. And it's been hard. Guardianship is one thing, but imprisoning somebody is a completely different. They are treating this lady like an animal. They are treating this lady like an animal. And no one can explain why. They've contradicted themselves when it comes to the level of freedom. Oh, she can come and go as she pleases. Well, why does somebody have to open her door? Why is her door locked? God forbid if there's a fire. You mean to tell me you have to wait for somebody to get the keys to go knock on her door? You get what I'm saying? That's not coming and going as you please. The elevators are locked. These people are locked in there. She had too much wine on the premises, so her privileges were revoked. Excuse me. I wouldn't give a damn what she had. If she wants wine, she can have wine. This is a grown woman. This is a multi-millionaire. Why are we treating her as if she's a criminal being held hostage? That's what you do with a criminal, a violent offender. You put them in solitary confinement. And even they get 1 hour a day, y'all, when we think about prison, penitentiary. Even the most violent offenders get 1 hour a day to go outside. And she's paying for it. What's the cost for her to stay there? She's paying for it. And when the note was thrown out and they called 911, the facility almost refused to let the EMTs come in or the police come in and kept saying, "We'll take care of you, Wendy." No, I want to go to a hospital. Why are you denying her basic human rights of sunshine, nature? If she wants a glass of wine, she should be able to have a glass of wine, period. You said she has, what are they saying? Dementia, right? Why are we taking away her rights to go grocery shopping, to buy gifts? That's not a guardianship. That's something else that's going on. And the longer she remains in this situation, to me, she's in danger of losing her life, I believe, by way of just passing away. Her condition accelerated, becoming accelerated because of her lack of connectivity with anybody on the outside. her lack of access to sun, wind, rain, sunshine, all of the elements that are needed for plants to grow. So imagine what human beings need. Sherry M says, who can save her is the real question. Who can save her? That's what you said. That's the real question. So when we found out and it was leaked that she scored a 10 out of a 10, I cringed. I said, oh my gosh, this is bad. This is really bad. And you guys, it's because it's it's similar to what her son did. I knew the judge was not going to be happy with this. I also knew that Guardian was not going to be happy with the public knowing what she scored on that psych test because it's personal HIPAA information. That's it. That's all. It's personal HIPAA information. And I understand the logic behind it from her team, but it was a bad misstep. It was bad. It was real bad. They should not have released that at all. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? And let me tell you why they should not have released it. Because it's going to give the judge and the guardian more ammunition to keep her confined and under a tighter grip. They call me corporate diva says, I fear something more serious may happen. Yeah, it's chess and not checkers. I think we're dealing with people that have, can I keep it real? So this guardianship stuff has been going on for a long time, quite some time, especially with this judge. She's literally sold guardianships based on how much you donate. Wendy Williams, guardianship judge, is pissed off, y'all. And not only that, she's threatening. She's threatening Wendy with even more harsh restrictions. Imagine that, right? What comes to mind? Also, this judge was once investigated for awarding, which is basically selling guardianships to people who donated to her Supreme Court election fund. Y'all, if this ain't a scheme all the way around with millions and millions of dollars where they deal with just millionaires, this lady don't want this to be found out. And I pulled this from Atlanta Black Star. This is my resource. I'm citing their article. I'm going to read it for you, and then we're going to break it down. So this was in February of last year, where it was revealed that the judge that oversees Wendy's guardianship, she awarded guardianships to several people and law firms that donated to her campaign fund. All the way around. The lawyers are involved. The judge is involved. Everybody that approves this shit. I'm sure there's doctors that are hired, brought in to do the evaluations. The facilities are handpicked. We're talking about, when you talk about a price tag on your head, this is what I believe is happening. That's why I believe she's in danger. These people benefit from making people sick, benefit for diagnosing people wrongly, I believe, putting you on meds that you probably, if you take the wrong med and that's not needed, imagine what that does to the body. I believe these people have become comfortable with death by way of guardianships, declaring that this person is going to, that this person or that person is going to decline rapidly. I believe they're assisting the decline in some type of way. Boom. Thank you, Purple Queen. She says, this is a criminal enterprise. A very sophisticated one. The writing's on the wall. A very sophisticated one with doctors, lawyers, facilities, medical personnel, medical records. You think I'm lying? Ask me. Now watch this. This judge was under investigation, right? Selling guardianships to people individuals, meaning somebody. So, and or law firms. So I would have to have enough money as an individual to donate to even get her attention and say, hey, can you put me over Toot Latrice? I can give you 2 million. Toot Latrice is worth 30 million. I guarantee. So if I could donate 2 million and you put me over her as her guardian, I can slide you some more. That's what she's being accused of. Between 2019 and 2022, Judge Lisa Sokoloff reportedly received, now look, now I know they lying, $5,000, $5,700 in campaign donations from guardianship lawyers, law firms, or people involved with guardianship cases. I believe is way more substantial. The Manhattan judge awarded those same law firms and people with 62 guardianship appointments in 2022 alone, according to WABC7 News. 62 guardianship appointments awarded by her to people directly tied to people that donated to her campaign fund. Now, here's the thing. You got to know how to hide money. You got to know how to hide money. That's why I believe the number is way more substantial. It goes on to say Williams was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and the frontal temporal dementia last year, meaning in 2023, and was being cared for by her son and family in Florida. Now, y'all, can we all agree that was horrible? Horrible care by her son. He was her POA when he was going through her bank. I don't know if y'all know that, but they've since sealed all of the court records. Her son was her power of attorney. He was taking advantage of his mother. Okay, not only are they stealing Wendy's money, they're stealing other people's money. So this judge awarded 62 guardianships in 2022. Wendy has been locked in her guardianship for how long, y'all? Since 2022. Right? You get what I'm saying? I think it's 2022. Okay, let's continue. Her financial accounts were frozen in 2022 after her former financial advisor at Wells Fargo noticed cognitive issues and filed a guardianship petition. Boom, they're everywhere. I told you, at the banks. Now, why in the hell would my banker, think about it, that shit don't make no sense. Why in the hell would a banker file a guardianship petition? I'll wait. They may flag my account, but why would you get all in my business like that to say I need a guardian? Does that make sense to y'all? It's one thing to flag my account and notify authorities that my son is taking this money and a group of individuals are taking money. But who are you as a banker, a financial advisor, to say that I have and to be able to diagnose me cognitive issues? I'm telling y'all, it's a scheme all the way around. Now, let's continue. Sokoloff then appointed a state administration lawyer, Sabrina Marisi as Williams' guardian, and revoked her son's power of attorney. I told y'all, I've been following this for a while, and then all of a sudden, all of the details were missing. I didn't realize that it was under a gag order and they had sealed the records, but her son was her power of attorney. So the judge handpicked Sabrina. Do you think they're about to let Wendy go easily? Absolutely not. There's too much at stake, I believe. There's too much to protect, I believe, which is why I stated or asked the question, is she in danger? The guardianship happened amidst the Wendy Williams show being canceled and following her divorce from her husband, Kevin Hunter Sr. Williams' divorce. Now listen to this. They watched her. This was a setup from the inside, in my opinion. Somebody had been watching her. Her husband did her dirty as a protector. because your husband is supposed to be your provider and protector. And as soon as he did what he did, he left her. He left her isolated, alienated, with no covering, and they swooped in. And they swooped in. That's somebody that would have had to have been watching her for a while, pretending to be a friend, a doting family member, and or a loved one. Somebody's getting a kickback from this shit. The question is who? Let's continue. So the divorce was finalized, I believe, in 2020. Dissolved. The marriage was dissolved in 2020, right? So they set this up. In 2022, they swooped in, removed her son, revoked his power of attorney. Now, Kevin Jr., her son, claimed that he was threatened with arrest by Sokoloff if he didn't return her to her home in Manhattan after traveling to Florida for treatment in 2021. The divorce final in 2020. She lives in New York. She was going back and forth to Florida. They called her son and said, if you don't return your mother back here, we're going to arrest you. We're going to arrest you. If you, baby, okay, let me continue. Now, her son claimed that he never spent his mother's money without her consent. Child, listen, boy, you know you did. Your mama said you did. This boy spent nearly $250,000 on rent. This boy spent over $100,000 on DoorDash. This boy also spent $100,000 on an American Express card. This boy has damn near took $1 million, if not millions of dollars from his mother. In the Lifetime documentary, they says the former talk show host is seen confused and often agitated. Yeah, if you're being fed the wrong meds, I can see that. She explains that she missed her family as she was attended to by her manager and former jeweler, Will Shelby, and then publicist Sean Zanotti. Producers noted that Williams had no food in her refrigerator during filming, which began in August of 2022. If you got me doped up, pumped up with meds, how come I don't have any food to absorb the poison that you're putting in my body and the water that I'm asking you to deliver me? Instead, you're giving me the water that you want me to have. Are y'all following? Now maybe you did. There was just a release, a video that someone did. She did not want to release her friend's name. She said her friend got into an Uber in Los Angeles, California, Uber Black. She says, be very careful, ladies, about accepting bottled water. It was a sealed bottle of water. The Uber driver gave it to her friend. Immediately, the friend said her thoughts begin to race. Her body begins to relax. She knew what was happening. He put something in that water, even though the bottle was sealed. And it's on Instagram if you want to see that video. So how come Wendy can't get the bottles of water that she needs? How come there's no food in that house if she's being pumped up with meds? That'll kill you. Over time, a slow kill. Over time. Let's see. I believe Wendy's mood and cognitive changes are due to menopause, but the judge is diagnosing wrongfully from monetary gain. Additionally, scared her son. And I don't believe it's specific to Wendy. I think they've done this to a lot of people. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Harvey and his team are really doing a great job of using TMZ to expose that judge. And what she has going on. Okay. Now, they said the former talk show host after she was put into a facility by Maurici in April of 2023. They're trying to shut her up for a reason. They want her to be quiet for a reason. Even the residents in the facility said they don't understand why Wendy is there. Y'all, it's given the Norman Bates Hotel. And they're not communicating with the family. They have not disclosed which facility Wendy is being treated in. Nobody is allowed to contact Wendy. Only Wendy can call out, y'all, that ain't no damn guardianship. I don't know what it is, but that ain't no guardianship. Her apartment in New York was emptied out and put up for sale. When somebody empties out your apartment and they put it up for sale and you have no idea where the proceeds are, how much money you've made, what your profit is, and your cats are giving it away, to me, I believe that's a telltale sign is we don't expect you to make it. We don't expect you to make it. We're preparing for you to not be here. That's why I believe, and I'm afraid she could be in danger. I wouldn't be shocked if that water was spiked too. With what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I know this isn't right. There is something sinister going on. It's going back to the money with these women. Neither one of these women, listen, I ain't gonna even lie. It's giving misery. It's giving Annie. It's giving I'll crack your knuckles. I mean your ankles. I'll knock your ankles in. And I'm afraid for Wendy. I'm afraid that after the results of that psych test was released, that's going to give them more ammunition and the technical argument to lock down tighter, because they can argue that people around her are releasing her personal HIPAA information. Team Wendy made a mistake with that one. The other thing to consider is an ER doctor. That's not like you have to have a psychiatrist issue that. So that assessment was done by an ER physician. Okay? Not a psychotherapist. That's not an intensive psychological assessment. It was 10 questions. When you do an intensive psychological assessment, it's typically an hour long. So we're cheering too soon. We're celebrating too soon. And Wendy's team they've got to be very careful, very, very careful that they do not release too much where it ends up doing more damage than good, more harm than good. It's complicated, ain't it? Is it not complicated? Tisha says the circle of destruction of Wendy was and is real. And I do believe if she's released, I do not believe she should be in that type of facility. Wendy has enough money to be home in her penthouse, her apartment, to have people come in, to have medical personnel come in and attend to her. I do believe if she is released to her family, it should not be her son. No males, because they've done enough damage. They've taken advantage of her. And if it is her niece, Alex, then there should be a neutral party to oversee that, because even family stands to benefit from her fortune, unfortunately. You get what I'm saying? This is a very, very complicated and tough situation. Now, listen, what they did is they said they searched to see if Sabrina Morisi donated to the judge presiding over Wendy Williams' guardianship, and documents revealed that although they couldn't find any evidence of Morisi donating, one thing they did find that was very interesting is that Sabrina, who's Wendy's current guardian, was awarded several guardianship appointments by Sokoloff in 2022. So just because you don't see donations from her name, it could have come from a third party, a different name, a fake account, anything. Paul Medeiros, a guardianship lawyer in New York, also donated to Sokoloff's campaign in 2022 and was awarded 7 guardianship appointments the same year. However, he claimed that there was no conflict of interest because he'd known the judge for 29 years. Bro, that's a conflict of interest in and of itself. in and of itself. Now let's think about this bare minimum. He was awarded 7 guardianships in 2022. Let's just say each person had a net worth of $1 million. Guess what he just racked in? 7 million. 7 million. If I'm putting you, it's almost like, those car accidents where they say, you got to go see this chiropractor. You have to go see this doctor. They're all in it together. The lawyer is going to tell you who to go to. They're going to tell you. And by the time you get your payout and the lawyer takes the 33 and the third and the doctor takes their 25%, hell, you got little to nothing after your settlement is dispersed. That's all I'm saying. Let me pause. I want to open up the lines for 15 minutes and I'll take people one at a time. If you would like to kind of share your thoughts about Wendy. Well, let me show you some stuff. Let me share something with you really quick. Hold on. Let me share something with you really, really quick. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up what they're saying that the judge is doing to Wendy so that we're all clear. And although I like the information from a blog perspective, I'm like, cool. I'm getting the inside scoop. I don't know if it's a good thing that they're releasing all of this. I think they need to go back to the drawing board and really carefully consider how they want to move with Wendy and what they release. That's all. That's all I'm saying. We got to be careful. And I also believe, this is my personal belief, that the judge and the attorney are more aggressive with Wendy because she's Black. Yep, I said it.
The judge says we've given you as much independence as is possible, but you've kind of abused that. And it sounds like it's because you're talking to the media, and that the judge is now looking to the Guardian to find a more restrictive place than the place you're staying at right now. And that place you call a luxury prison. So can we get your reaction to that?
That's her basic first. Is it the First Amendment? Freedom of speech. So now, okay, if she's sick, how come you're denying her a conversation with the media? She's a media personality. Does any of this make sense to you?
First of all, what do you mean loosen me going out and doing things? I am not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And giving me a more constrictive environment. What's more restrictive than the coterie? The memory, the memory unit on the 5th floor. And what is going on with the judge speaking to me in that such a way?
I agree with you. It's almost like she's treating you as this kind of...
They're saying the judge can barely stomach Wendy. We're going to get to that. She can barely stomach Wendy. They have copies of the judge's email where she can hardly contain her disdain for Wendy, y'all. Give me 1 second. I accidentally...
kind of petulant child and saying, Wendy, you are trying to poison the jury pool by talking to the media.
Thank you.
I agree that that's definitely the tone that the judge is using. But on another level, Wendy, are you concerned that the judge and the Guardian may go through with this as you are continually going to continue to speak out clearly? Are you concerned that they are going to move you to a different unit?
A more restrictive
facility?
Yes, I am.
I am too. And I'm concerned that they may move her to a nursing home. I'm very concerned that they may move her to a nursing home.
And don't make me start crying, because I can laugh and cry on the drop of a dime.
We don't want to make you cry, but it's a reality based on what the judge has said.
It makes me very, very nervous. I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And I get a little bit, I'm scared of that mess. Oh, I almost cursed. I am. I don't know what could be tighter than where I am, but like, I have to get out of Guardian and I have to do it immediately.
We got a letter last night from the Guardian's lawyer, who is painting a picture that you're free to come and go as you want. You can go out and shop. You can go out for appointments. and they're making it sound like you just have the ability to roam freely.
They're lying. They're lying. That's a lie. That's a lie. And you know,
That's a bold-faced lie because they just called the police on her niece, Alex, for taking her out to dinner. Alex picked her up from her appointment, when she went to the hospital, took her out for lunch before dropping her off, and they called the police and accused Alex of kidnapping Wendy. Y'all, this is a really, really, this is bigger than what we think, in my opinion.
well, you don't know because you haven't been, because you're not allowed to come see me at the coterie. You are not allowed. My niece has to be permitted to.
You're saying the family can come and go, come and visit you whenever they want.
My family has to be allowed by Sabrina, the guardian person. And look, it is a lie. They are lying people. I'm sorry, and I've had it up to here. And thank goodness I can speak, and Harvey, that you are co-signing on the things that I'm speaking about.
Well, I got to tell you, Wendy, the one thing that really got me in this letter from the Guardian's lawyer was it says the Guardian has never denied Miss Williams access to her family members.
That's a lie. She had to get permission to go see her father for his birthday.
I know it may not be the Guardian, but I know that the judge initially denied you the ability to go down to Florida for your dad's birthday and only.
Yes. Yo, what the fuck is going on? Are they trying to unalive this lady in some kind of way? What the hell is going on? There has to be more to this. Why are they trying to confine this lady to solitary confinement? I need Harvey to keep digging. This don't make no sense. Why would the judge, why would this woman, this white woman, deny Wendy Williams permission to her father's 93rd birthday? Does that sound,
and only reversed herself after the documentary dropped.
No, it wasn't just the documentary privately. That's behind the scenes. I'm sure it was. However, I couldn't go see my dad unless I had my attorney flying with me, staying in the hotel with me.
This is crazy. This is scary. This is not normal, you all. This is how you escort a prisoner, a deportee. This is how you handle somebody that has committed like a heinous crime. They cannot be alone. We've got to watch them. They need security guards. This is not right. I just don't know the big why.
And going around when I was shopping with me and flying back to New York after 3 days of being Miami with me and the judge and a security person.
I think this is the question people have been asking me now for a couple of weeks more than any other, which is why is the Guardian and the judge so determined to keep you in this guardianship, to say that you're not with it, to say your mental functions are deteriorating despite everything else we're hearing? Why do they want to keep you in it in such a secretive way?
You know what this reminds me of? And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Listen, I'm going to say it. We keeps it real over here. Back in the slavery days, when it was very, very, very known that white women hated black women to the core. And some slave movies, if you go back and watch, they would lie on the female slaves to get them lashing and whoopings if they thought that their husbands favored a particular female slave. That's what this reminds me of. The hate, the level of hatred that they have for her took me back there automatically. I don't give a damn who agrees, who don't agree. That's what reminds me of it. That's a fact of the relationships between white women and black women. It's continued to date. It's swept underneath the rug. And the only person that had the courage to speak on it openly was Brene Brown. I told you about 2.5 years ago, I saw her at a conference with over 45,000 women. And she came on the stage and she said, let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's a historical hate that exists from white women to Black women, and nobody's talking about it. And she said, I don't know why, but nobody's willing to touch that topic, but it's here. And everybody wants to pretend that it's not. And that's what this reminds me of. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't want to curse, so I will do that to you, Harvey, Gina, Charles, if you're available, my niece Alex, Eric, the world. I'll talk to you behind the scenes. I cannot talk like that.
Make it PG.
I think it's because of the lifetime lawsuit. I really believe if this lifetime lawsuit wasn't around, I believe Wendy would be out of this guardianship. I believe this lifetime lawsuit really sets the stage as to, Wendy, the Guardian's reputation, because again, the Guardian put Wendy in harm during that documentary.
There you go. And not only that, but I've already heard from people.
And Netflix was the ones that said that. It was the Guardian's idea for Wendy to do a documentary. The Guardian set it up, allegedly, but didn't like it when she saw it because it wasn't in her favor. It wasn't the case, the business case that she was attempting to drive. It wasn't the narrative that she was attempting to drive, that Wendy is crazy, Wendy is this. And actually what people saw was, you're not taking care of her. You're neglecting her. You're placing her in harm's way to the point that there is actually no food here for her. Then she decided to sue. And it's being said out on these streets that she's using Wendy's money to pay for her legal representation.
People at Lifetime, and I would love to be with them as they would love to be with me.
The judge says we've given you as much independence.
Oh, that's a lot, right? Now watch this. I have one more to update you on. It's a lot. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll wrap it up. Hold on. Let me see. There's a lady that gives a detailed report on the judge. I want to make sure it's the right video. Give me 1 second. Not that one. I don't want to play that one. I have a few of them here. Nope, not that one. What are your thoughts, y'all? This is the judge. Wendy on the way to the hospital. Let me find the other video that I had or have. If not, I'll just leave it alone if I can't find it. It may not be meant to be for me to show it to y'all today. But I'm really worried for Wendy. I think these women hate her. I think they also hate the fact that she's a successful Black woman. There's probably not a lot of Blacks that come through, African Americans that come through in these type of guardianship situations. I think these women are very masculine. I think they've strong-armed a lot of their clients into silence, and they've scared the hell out of them. I think a lot of times the family members are on board in these setups because they also benefit from the situations, and they get a little kickback. And typically in these situations, I believe whatever they have going on, typically everybody's on board. I don't think they're used to Black folks saying, oh, hell no, you're not going to do my auntie like this. Oh, hell no, you're not going to do my mama like this. Oh, hell no. And I think it's caused them to really, really want to hammer down and accelerate her condition. And I think they despise her. They despise the audacity. And I think they underestimated the power of the Black community to come together and rally behind her. And I don't think they took it serious at first when Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club came out. But now that white folks are getting on the bandwagon to support her, the other guy, there's another guy that just came out. He's a billionaire. He offered his home, his medical team, and his resources. He said, Wendy can stay at my house. I'll provide her with all she needs. I'll make sure if she needs a good place, she can stay here. So I think that's ticked them off. Let me see. Did I save? I may not have it. I see you, Empress Nick. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for, I may not have it. I hope I do. I can't find it. All right. We're going to take 10 minutes just to, if you would like to come up, you're more than welcome to. Empress Nick, welcome. What are your thoughts?
Hey, greetings, Queen. Thank you for allowing me
Hey.
to come on. If you could bear with me because I'm dealing with the allergies right now. So, but this Wendy thing gives me pause because someone I can't say I feel, I know what's going on. I will start by saying, yes, her son may have activated it, but I believe her son is not to blame. I believe it's what Wendy has previously signed, and whatever she signed is where the issue starts.
Okay. Make it plain. Say what you feel.
Okay.
Say it, keep it real.
Okay. Unfortunately, I got myself in trouble and it put me in a place where I had to learn and study. And basically, everything is contract. If y'all pull out, it may not be agreeable to everybody, and I know y'all have y'all degrees, but I had to study and I understand what everything is going on. If y'all will pull out, if y'all have paper money,
what do you feel like she signed?
No, she signed her life away. She has no control of herself. And I'll be honest with y'all, if y'all really go back and study, every woman, every boy, when you are born, technically you are a ward of the state. No banks have control over anybody's money, but we don't know that. So it's whatever she signed. So it's very important to learn trust law, to have everything in a trust. Let somebody come and tell me I have to turn my mother in. There's no way in hell I'm giving an entity my mother. So I have to make it short and quick. Technically, what Wendy needs to do is understand her constitutional rights, and she has to.
Your audio's going out, unfortunately. Your audio's bad.
Ma'am?
Your audio went out.
Oh God, but
that's okay. Can you wrap it up in about 15 seconds so we can make sure we capture what you're trying to say?
All right. Well, that's about it.
There
But
it is.
basically, my audio's gone.
Summarize it. Like,
I'm sorry, Queen. Maybe
okay,
next
that's
time.
okay. It seems to be a delay, but can you take 15 seconds to try to summarize it so we can capture what you're saying? Okay, she dropped. Okay, Sexy RN, welcome. What are your thoughts? You're on mute. Sexy RN.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It's funny you started this conversation because me and my husband were having the same conversation, I promise you, last week about Wendy Williams. There's so much I could say. If I did what they were doing, I wouldn't have a nursing license. Seeing her, she does not need total care. She probably needs somebody to help her with not even daily tasks. I'm sure she's dressing herself. She probably can cook. She's obviously, from what I can see, from my expertise, she's able to make decisions for herself. If somebody was talking like her, walking like her, and being like her, I could not keep them in a hospital, in a nursing home. They will be able to sign themselves out. So this is obviously a plot, and it's sick. And it's sad that she has no one really in her family. They just allowed this to happen. I actually see this a lot when it comes to money. People become who they really are. It's sad. I never even really liked Wendy Williams and her show, but right is right and wrong is wrong, and this is the wrong thing to do. And I don't know what recourse she has because she didn't sign anything away. They took it from her. They were able to take it from her. So
ooh, in what way? Just deeming power, like just deeming
well, I'm gonna
walk us through it from a medical perspective.
So from a medical perspective, a lot of times when I see people who are drinking or doing drugs for a long period of time, especially alcohol, believe it or not, alcohol can be a lot worse than drugs. They end up having all kinds of delirium. They end up having encephalopathy. They try to say that she has, which she could. I'm not a
Let's do a mic check. Sexy RN. Is it me or is it StreamYard with the audio? Let's do a
I
mic
don't
check.
know.
Okay, there you go. There you
Am
go.
I good? Okay. So they were trying to say she had the Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, which is like an alcohol-related dementia. I could have bought into that at first, but that doesn't go away. She would not be this lucid. People who are like that, they stay in a state of, I don't know who I am. They don't know the time. They don't know anything. And again, unfortunately, lately from where I'm at with traveling, and I've been traveling all over the country, I've seen these alcohol related dementia cases. A lot of times that will go away within a month or two. Some people, it may take 3 to 6 months longer. So while she was in that state, people could have had her signing things, people could have had her doing anything, because usually they're not alert to, they might be alert to themselves, but they're not alert to time. They're not alert to place. They're just kind of, they may have delusions, but it usually goes away when the alcohol, when they detox from it. And it may take a couple of months. I don't see, I'm not saying she has no brain damage, but listen to her speak. Does she sound like somebody with dementia? We all know what dementia sounds like. She's
No,
not
she
having these these long conversations. You don't see her going out. There are some things she doesn't know and understand, because that a lot of it maybe was happening in the time when she was going through her delirium and through her, detoxing stage. But no one was paying attention. And I honestly believe it's funny to me how a lot of this happened when her husband didn't have any access to her money, her ex-husband, excuse me, stop having access to her money. Then all of a
mm,
sudden she's not capable, she's not this, she's that. And and here's the thing, you're allowed to spend your money the way you want to spend. If you want to drink it away, that is your business. We don't have the right to tell someone they can't drink. Drinking is not illegal.
thank you.
We cannot tell someone they can't be a drunk, because I can't. And I just got off work. I've been exercising. I just had an alcohol patient last night. I can't tell them, oh, you better stop drinking. As a matter of fact, doctors are starting to give alcohol so people won't detox, because they realize that people aren't going to stop drinking. But because she has money, because people want her money, they're going to make her stay in a room and lock her up. We can't do that in a hospital.
No,
I
you
can't detain
cannot.
anyone. I can't hold anyone down. I will be
Right.
in jail for assault and battery.
It's crazy. It doesn't
I
sound right, does it, to you from a medical perspective?
No, it is illegal. I can't, in the healthcare, we are not allowed to do that. We cannot lock doors. We cannot lock people in rooms. We cannot, unless it is for their immediate safety. Drinking and somebody getting drunk is not stopping them from being in danger. If she was trying to unalive herself, or she was doing
Right.
something like that, yes, that's not happening. So
All
everything
right.
they're doing is illegal according to medical law. And I don't understand why this is allowed to go on, but who's going to stop a judge?
I agree. That's sexy RN. Thank you, Queen, for coming up and just sharing your
You're
thoughts from a
welcome.
medical perspective.
You're welcome.
The review hour. Welcome. You have the floor. What are your thoughts?
Yes, and I think it is StreamYard. Everybody's going in and out. But my thoughts are, I had the pleasure and honor of having guardianship over my mom when she became ill. And of course, it's not on the level of having millions and millions of dollars like Wendy. But I will say this to anyone: guardianship is there for a purpose, and it's the hardest thing to get out of. So if you should ever find yourself, you want somebody to help you with your affairs while you're uh, ill, or you don't think you could do it, try to do a power of attorney first, because you can get yourself out of that if you are if you're what would you say, if your faculties are all there, so to speak. Um, but a guardianship, they have total control. That's what that's what it's there for. They control everything. And so I just wanted to come up here and let everybody know that if you should find yourself that, or you have children that say, hey, give me power of attorney over you, or whatever the case, make sure that you do the power of attorney before the guardianship, because the guardianship is there. uh, if you don't, you cannot under any circumstances uh, handle your own affairs. And of course, when you do that, that places everything in that individual's hand. And so I pray for Wendy, because a guardianship is very hard to get out of. And I don't know if she's going to be able to do it.
Got it.
Of course, it has happened before. What her name, Britney Spears, she was able to get out of it, but after many, many, many years, because
Wasn't
it's
hers a conservatorship? What's the difference? Or are they both the same, just different terminology?
different terminologies,
But both the
terminology.
same? But both the same?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
you exactly, and
Well,
you
Britney was able to get out of hers because the public pressure. Free Britney, and they never let up. And I'm hoping we can do the same for Whitney. And all Britney does is
yes.
sit in front of the camera and dance all day.
Well, they were able to also bring out exactly what was being done to her. She for many years she wanted to have a child, and they kept that from happening. And they were able to prove how she just had no access to her money.
Oh,
And hopefully they
wow.
can do the same with Wendy. But they got to be able to prove it, because they know that guardianship is not easy to get out of. And like you said, the more people protest about it, and hopefully
Okay,
more things come out, but it has to be something very strong,
gotcha.
for them to get out of that guardianship.
Great information. Thank you so much, Review Hour. They are really happy to hear this. They say thank you for being so informative. All
Okay,
right, you
thank
all, that's
you.
the
I'm
Review
dropping
Hour.
down.
Okay, Regina B, you're up next. I'm going to you. Welcome, Regina B. You have the
Thank
floor,
you.
Queen. Hey.
Thank you, sis. Good morning, everyone. Yes, the first caller, because I forget her name. I totally agree with everything all y'all saying, but the first caller, when she said Wendy is something Wendy might have signed, I agree with that too. But guess what? Wendy might not have signed that. Her son was the guardian, wasn't he? Her
He
son
was
can't be
he was
trusted
yeah,
that
he was the power of attorney.
power of attorney. That's what I meant to say. He could have had something to do with the signing too. Wendy probably didn't sign that. I do agree with the first caller when she said it's something she probably signed. But who's to say who signed it? They sure not gonna tell off on themselves. I feel so bad for Wendy. Her son is a spoiled, entitled brat. I want to say something else. My grandbaby here, and of course I'm not gonna cuss on this panel, but it's so sad. Let my grandbaby say hi and let me get off this live because I got
Okay.
time.
All right. Hi, how are you?
Look at all that hair, y'all. She don't want comb.
Well, I won't sure. I got the little thingy on there because she is a minor, so I got to block where they can't
Oh,
see it.
okay.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that. Okay, you're
Okay,
right.
she
You're right.
good.
But
I
and
got
she
you
definitely good
protected.
with look. God, I appreciate that. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh
But
no, I
she's
got it
definitely
covered. Trust me. You see this?
oh, look, that's my sis. That's what I'm talking about. But guess what?
Mhm.
She's also covered from God and me too, because I wish a no for would. I know what you're saying, though. I appreciate you. And thanks for letting me up.
All right. Thank you, Regina B. I'll see you a little
Okay.
bit later on tonight.
Sure will. All right. Can you
Okay.
drop me down?
Okay, I'll take you off. All right, y'all. That's Regina B. Thank you. She's going to come back down and join you all in the chat. We have Deborah up next. Welcome, Miss Deborah. You have the floor.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I was down in the chat, pissed off, so I just came up to give my little 2 cents.
Well, go
Um,
ahead.
I hope and I'm praying that something can be done. I don't, with all the suspicious activity around this, I think it should make an alert. You know what I mean? Like trigger an investigation. This is very weird to me. I do feel like they're trying to keep her quiet, trying to silence her. I don't know anybody under guardianship that doesn't have the freedom of speech. I've never. This sounds weird to me. Um, and I'm glad I'm finding this out because I'm not giving anybody guardianship over me. I'll do a power of attorney. I'm never going to be in a position where I can't make a decision for myself. If I'm mentally able to do so, you're going to just tell me that you just get control over me. I love my daughter to death, but I wouldn't give her guardianship over me. I'm not giving that to anybody. So I'm praying that all works out. I've calmed down a little bit because I was so mad because my first thought was these two ugly ass white women are trying to silence her. And that was pissing me off. So I'm gonna go back down here before I say something crazy. I respect your platform, Queen Shiva. Keep talking. I was hoping that somebody would come up that knows something about this. It can explain it a little bit better. And the last thing I'll say is I would love to know what we can do to help as the public other than hashtagging, because I have hashtag. To me, this seems like some getting in the street kind of protest kind of thing to bring awareness to this. And where are these elected officials, senators, governors, the ones that be screaming on TV about Trump? Like you can't get together and do something for the citizens of, citizen of your own state. Like this is all weird to me. All of it. Anyway, I'm gonna go back down before I say something crazy. Okay, love y'all. Bye.
All right. Bye, Miss Deborah. You have a good day. She says she finna drop down before she say something crazy because she pissed off. Listen, I don't blame you. What can we do? Well, I'm just trying to bring more awareness to it because it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem right. Um, Here's what a call to action. So what can we do? I would probably say what you can do for me. Now don't bombard me. If there's something a really good update about Wendy where you feel like it's solid, it's factual, not the entertainment piece. I'm not interested in that, but if there's like an update where you feel like, hey, can you dig into this? I'll dig into it. Send me the links. Don't tell me there's an update. Send the update to me. Not the entertainment pieces, but the pieces that could affect her, impact her. Send that to me. I'll cover it. And also, if you feel like the bigger platforms that have had the privilege of sitting down with her, if you feel like in the next couple of months that you need an update, swarm their comments and say, hey, listen, we got to keep this Wendy story going. Can you continue to push it out? Utilize your numbers to push it out. And then smaller channels like myself capture it and continue. And we bring up the rear. You know what I mean? Now they're saying that Wendy is scheduled to be on The View. Militron just dropped that. So she's scheduled to be on The View tomorrow. That's going to be good. Send me the link to The View. You know what I mean? And I'll cover that conversation. Because when these videos are pushed out, they sit here. And you never know. You never know who's clicking. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But when people are pulling up her name on YouTube, people are pulling up her name on Google, these types of conversations are out there once I click this live off. So we got to keep talking. We have to keep advocating. We have to use buzzwords, freedom of speech. We have to say medical abuse, financial abuse. We have to call a thing a thing. And thank you all for showing up today. Thank you to all of the people that called in and shared your frustration, shared your knowledge, shared your thoughts. We appreciate it. And listen, we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to let you all go because I know some of y'all need to go to lunch. Kat says, I think Miss Doubtfire and Rosie O'Donnell and Big Kev all used Lil Kev to get to Wendy. Now, Wendy did say there was her son worked with a group of people to rob her. I do believe her father was one of them. Wendy's sharp. Let me tell you how sharp Wendy is. Because Wendy realizes that she can't speak on particular things because the records are sealed and she has a gag order. She was sharp enough to say on her Harvey Levin interview, my son worked with a group of individuals to take my money. And I thought, you sharp, girl, because you're not supposed to say the names. So that leads me to believe, I don't know if she got what they saying she got. Because if she really had dementia, they don't remember the damn rules of what they can and can't say. She's very careful. That's somebody with good sense, in my opinion. The review hour says guardianship equals dependence. Power of attorney equals temporary dependence. Got it. And remember, y'all, just because you're a spouse, just because you are a mother, a brother, a sister, you can be trumped if somebody assigns power of attorney to someone else. That's it. That's all. Let's see. Yep. On your way out, if you haven't already, and I normally don't say that, if you got something of value from the video, feel free to like it. All right. Thank you, Linda Gamble. Thank you to Latrice for working hard on the behalf of the Palace. Y'all have a great day. Listen, did y'all check out my latest drop? Is it out there already? Is it out there already too? Can y'all see it? Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right. We'll see y'all tonight in the Palace at 7:33 p.m. I just dropped it. The final conversation, y'all. It gets crazy. It's crazy, y'all. This interview is going to blow your damn mind. And ain't it funny how the timing is perfect? Man, The producer manipulation of it all, the fight for ratings, y'all. Tune in tonight in the palace. I see you, Daryl Long. He said, let's get those likes up. Yep. Let's get those likes up. Rosie, saying Sonia, yeah, she moved to Ireland. Hell, I might be right behind her, the way things are going in this country. But yeah, I'll see y'all tonight. God bless. Have a good day. All right. Thank you, Palace, for pulling up. Thank you for all of your support. Bye, y'all.